Hey friends, in this quick video, I'm going to dive into audience overlap on Facebook ads. I'm going to explain what it is and also 3 ways that you can actively prevent it. So first, what is audience overlap? Audience overlap occurs when you have the same people in different audiences. And this becomes more of a problem when you have one audience per ad set. So say you have a retargeting campaign that has one ad set for website visitors and one ad set for social engagers. There's a pretty big possibility that there's going to be some people in both audiences. So why is this a problem? This can actually hurt your ad performance because it'll speed up ad fatigue. And ad fatigue is essentially when your targeted audience gets bored of your creative and therefore there's not as many clicks and not as many sales. And what audience overlap does is it increases this ad fatigue. The more people that are overlapping in your audiences equals the more times that people are going to be targeted with your ads. So you're essentially paying for that person to see that ad twice, which means that they're going to get sick of your ad creative even faster. So like I said, there are 3 ways you can actively prevent audience overlap. And the first one is to actually just check out the audience overlap tool. And this is going to show you how many people are actually overlapping in each of your audiences. And I highly suggest that you do this for every single prospecting audience that you want to test, particularly if you're going to be using one audience per ad set in an ad set budget campaign. To be honest, I only really use ad set budgeting when testing out new prospecting audiences. And all you have to do is go to your ads manager and click on audiences. And then you're going to select which audiences you want to check for audience overlap. And then you're going to hit the show audience overlap button. By using this tool, you're going to be able to see the number of people that are in both audiences. Also, another thing to note is if you want to see the overlap of specific interest audiences, all that you have to do is use a saved audience to look at the overlap from that interest audience. So all you're going to have to do when you're in audiences is create an audience and then create a saved audience with the interest targeting that you want to check for overlap. The main takeaway here is that if you're using an ad set budget campaign and you have one audience per ad set and you're seeing a lot of overlap in that tool, then you're actually paying more than once to reach specific people. The second way to guard against audience overlap is to use a CBO campaign. And this is one of the reasons why I always use CBO in my broad retargeting campaigns that house both website visitors and social engagers. Because like I said, there's definitely overlap in those 2 audiences. And what campaign budget optimization or CBO actually does is it actively guards against audience overlap. So if the same person is in both of your ad sets, it's not going to blast them with your ads. The third way to guard against audience overlap is to use a super lookalike audience. This essentially combines all of your best lookalikes that you've tested and puts them into one ad set. And this is really powerful because it takes all of your best performing audiences that you might have had segmented out into different ad sets, puts them into one ad set, and that actively guards against audience overlap because since all these audiences are just within one ad set, Facebook knows to not hit them more than once with your ads or more than the recommended amount of time to get them to take the action you want to take based on your objective and also your optimization. And this is a great strategy to use for your prospecting scaling campaigns. So there are 2 things to note here. And one is, yes, you can use this with interest targeting as well. And one of my favorite tactics is to actually take the super lookalike audience and combine it also with a super interest audience. So it's kind of like a super ad set. And another thing that adds steroids to this strategy is to use it in a CBO campaign with a broad audience. So the reason why I do this is because your super ad set is actually going to teach your broad ad set where to find your best customers. Having a simple account structure like this is going to allow you to spend more time on developing and testing new creative. And that's really the number 1 way to guard against ad fatigue, as well as making sure you're set up to prevent things like audience overlap. And that's it. If you guys have any questions about audience overlap or any of the strategies in this video, be sure to hit me up in the comments below. I'm super active there and I always love helping you guys out with your Facebook ad campaigns. Okay, that's it. See ya. Bye.